Hello everyone, my name is Tim Hansen, and today we're going to configure content filtering service on a SonicWall Gen 7 SonicOS7 Firewall. Now, before moving forward with setting up content filtering rules and such, we'll want to review the global settings for CFS. And we can find all the global settings here under Policy, Security Services, and Content Filter. Obviously, we'll want to make sure that our firewall is licensed for content filtering. And then we'll want to ensure the server status is ready. If it's not ready or if it's hung up for whatever reason, you can try to just toggle the on-off button here. There are a few global options, such as the ability to block web access if the content filtering server is unavailable, or enabling the use of a local CFS server if you have one. And then below is where we can exclude IP addresses or networks from content filtering as a whole. So just to note, the IP address the administrator is logged into at any given time is excluded by default. So if you are looking to test the CFS engine from the same computer you're using to configure content filtering, you'll want to disable this option here. And I'll disable it just so I can demonstrate what the block pages and such look like a little later on in the video. Okay, and then over here under this tab is where we can take a domain or FQDN or a number of FQDNs and assign it to any of the website categories or any of the 64 available website categories on the firewall. Sort of a categorization bypass of sort. So for example, if I wanted to take timhansen.ca and make it so that the website is categorized as education rather than whatever it's currently categorized as, which truthfully is probably nothing, I can do that here. Okay. So now we're all set to move forward with actually setting up our filtering rules. Okay, so content filtering as a whole essentially has three sections or three parts to it. One, you have content filter rules. Two, you have content filter profiles. And then three, you have content filter actions. And we'll start by looking at the content filter action, because realistically, when you're configuring content filtering on your own firewall, you'll actually want to set this up first and then follow it up by setting up the filter profile or the content filter profile, and then lastly go through setting up the content filter rule. All right, so content filter actions could be found here under objects, action objects, and then content filter actions. And what the content filter action does is it pretty much gives us the ability to customize what the end user is going to see when they try to access a blocked website, or more accurately, a website that's simply not allowed by default. And in most cases, you can probably just use the default object. So unless you really want to customize something in the block page, whether it be a logo or the terminology, the default one will suffice. Okay, so I'll open up the default one just so we can have a quick look around. And if I wanted to customize a block page, I could do that here. Similarly, if I'm giving users a passphrase or a password they need to enter in to access restricted websites, I could set that up here under passphrase. The confirm option technically allows access to users, but only after those users click through an acknowledgement type page, which warns them that, yeah, they're going to be able to access this website, but that action is being logged. In other words, have a legitimate business purpose for going to that website should HR come calling at a later date. All right, and then if we wanted to apply a bandwidth management policy to the website, we could do that here. And for me, I'm just going to leave everything as default and then click out. Okay. And so then what I want to do is I want to move over to my content filter profile and set that up under profile objects, and content filter. The content filter profile is, as you'll see, where we actually select which websites or website categories users are actually allowed to access, and then what action we want the firewall to take when users go to websites they're not supposed to go to. So I'll go ahead and click Add to create a new profile. I'll call it LAN to WAN. And then what we'll first see below are some options that are related to URL lists. So what URL lists allow us to do is they allow us to take either a list of domains, a list of keywords, or a list of URIs, and you can define these manually by typing them in, or you can actually import text files that have a large number of sites predefined. And then we can take those lists and either whitelist or blacklist them as a whole. So what I'll do is I'll just go over to the forbidden URL list and I'll click create here. And then, like I said before, we got a number of options to add either a domain, which would be something like example.com, a keyword, which is pretty self-explanatory, or a URI, which would be a domain plus the resource, so something like example.com/news.html. For demonstration purposes, I'll go with the keyword option, and then I'll just pick a random word like the word yellow. And then I'll name it yellow, and essentially now any URL or FQDN that users try to access that has the word yellow in it will be blocked. Okay. And then below all of our URL list options, you'll find the 64 website categories which exist on SonicOS by default. Okay, so all websites that are accessed by users will fit into one of these categories. Okay, so you can scroll through them and then decide individually whether you want each category allowed, bandwidth management policy, block, confirm, or passphrase. You'll see the first 12 categories on the list are all the bad categories, so they're all blocked by default. And maybe again, just for demonstration purposes, what I'll do is I'll just take the weapons category and move it to confirm. So when I actually go into my web browser and visit a website matching this category, you'll see what that page looks like. Okay, and then we do have some other options here under the other tabs. I'll enable HTTPS content filtering so SonicOS can block HTTPS sites. This is different than DPI-SSL, so just keep that in mind, that enabling this option doesn't necessarily mean, well, it doesn't mean we can apply the antivirus, IPS, and whatnot engines against TLS traffic hitting this profile. You would still have to set up DPI-SSL if you're interested in doing that, okay? Some of the other options here are things for safe search, YouTube restrict mode, etc., etc. Okay. The consent tab adds a consent type page when the web or when the internet is accessed, similar to what you might find on a public terminal like you'd find inside a public library. All right, and then you have the option for a custom header if you want to add one. Okay, and then once you're satisfied with how the profile is set up, we can go ahead and save it. And once our profile is saved, then we want to move over to configure or set up our content filter rule. So content filter rules can be found under policy, rules and policy, or rules and policies, and then content filter rules. And what a content filter rule does essentially is it matches traffic similar to the way an access rule matches traffic. So you would pick the source and destination zones, source and destination networks, or in whatever users or user groups you want to match the policy to. And then once that traffic is matched to a content filter rule, then the decision will lie to the content filter profile you've selected as to whether or not the user is going to be allowed access to the website they're trying to get to. Okay, so I'll name a rule, again, similar to the policy LAN to WAN. I'll pick the LAN and WAN zones. And then I'll even select the X0 subnet, which represents my LAN subnet or network. Okay, I'll leave the user's box to any. And then I can select the profile I just created, as well as the default filter action. And once that's done, I can save it here. And then once you do close this, you'll see our new policy populate on the page. Now, there is a default rule that exists straight out or right out of the box. So in order to get your newly created LAN-to-WAN rule to take precedent, you can either move it above like so, or just simply disable the default one here. Okay, so now that that's done, what I'll do is just switch over to a browser and I'll show or demonstrate what accessing a website category that matches a confirm looks like, as well as trying to access a URL with the word yellow in it, just so you can see both pages. Okay, so I'll attempt to hit a website I know matches the weapons category. And then what you can see is a web page that forces me to acknowledge this here in order to get redirected to the website itself. Okay. And then I'll try to access a website, yellow.com. And you can see, of course, that my request has been blocked due to it being on the forbidden URL list. Okay, and then assuming you've got more zones or more networks or more different user groups you want to set up different rules for, you would just sort of go through this same process, rinsing and repeating until completed. Alright, so the process, if you've used the previous generations of SonicWall firewalls, Gen 6.5 or Gen 6, you can tell it's similar in process, if not virtually identical. It's just a matter of learning where the various menu options are now living on this new UI. Okay? So that's going to be it for this video. I'll say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.